Weight management is a $36 billion industry. As with all industries, there are buyers and sellers. Unfortunately, in the weight loss business, the sellers typically misinform and mislead the buyers, often putting them at risk. Witness the hundreds of class action suits and legal actions taken against the marketers of pills, potions, hypnosis, and even medically prescribed products like Fen-Phen. Equally guilty, the most established names in weight loss continually misinform the public. Their total focus on body weight instead of body composition is misleading and dangerous. Let's take a look at how some of these faulty design programs are presented. The rationale behind restricted calorie dieting is rooted in the mathematical manipulation of calories. Here's how it works. There are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. This is true. There are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. This is also true. And for this example, we'll assume our 200-pound dieter is consuming 3,000 calories a day. So, theoretically, using this math, commercial weight loss companies contend that if a 200-pound dieter reduces his intake by 1,000 calories per day, or 7,000 calories per week, he should lose 2 pounds per week. It makes sense at first. However, if this rationale were true, then the dieter would lose 104 pounds per year. At the end of the second year, he would weigh an astonishing -8 pounds. This dieter would completely disappear. The fact is, conventional low-calorie, restricted calorie diets don't work because the body adapts to what it correctly perceives as starvation. In perceived starvation, the body will actually attempt to store more fat. It engages in a fat-storing metabolism. Under perceived starvation, it's also easier for the body to convert muscle or lean body mass into usable energy, thus storing the fat for more extreme stages of starvation to come. So let's see how this plays out in the real world. Meet Joe Dieter. He's going back to his high school reunion and wants to lose 30 pounds so he'll look good in front of his former classmates. And he wants to lose it quickly. So he goes to a commercial weight loss center. Joe is 40 years old. He's 5'10", 200 pounds, and 26% body fat. He consumes approximately 3,000 calories a day in 2 big meals. The first thing the commercial weight loss center does is reduce Joe's caloric intake by 1,000 calories. And sure enough, Joe drops 10 pounds in just 2 weeks. Joe is really happy about this, but he's also beginning to feel sluggish. He just doesn't seem to have as much energy. After 5 weeks, Joe has dropped another 10 pounds, and he's been a good dieter. But he seems to have hit a plateau. He feels stuck at 180 pounds. He also feels a few other things. Joe seems to require more sleep. He's even more sluggish, and now he's experiencing headaches. He also finds himself craving sugars like chocolate milk and candy and ice cream. All of these symptoms are Joe's body trying to tell him he needs more food to fuel his body. Even his cravings are an attempt by Joe's body to get some instant energy. But Joe is a good dieter and determined to meet his goals. He's about to make things much worse. To break through his current weight, the commercial weight loss center puts Joe on the famous Plateau Busters program. Joe is now consuming just 1,500 calories a day, half the amount from when he started. This is sure to get him down to his goal of 170 pounds. Well, Joe made it. He hit his goal. But let's take a look at his post-diet statistics. Joe went from 200 to 170 pounds in 10 weeks. But hang on. While Joe may have lost weight, his body fat percentage actually increased from 26% to 30%. How did this happen? During his starvation diet, Joe lost 28 pounds of healthy, lean body mass and only 2 pounds of fat. So while Joe weighs less on the scale, he's actually more fat than when he started. Joe's story does not end here. After the reunion, Joe began to increase his caloric intake, even though his body had adapted to 1,500 calories. A year later, Joe's weight hit an all-time high, and so did his body fat. He was doing it all on just 2,000 calories a day. To make matters worse, Joe remembers how he lost the weight the first time and returns to the commercial weight loss center. This is what's commonly known as yo-yo dieting.